I'll tell you a bit about Through the Moon. If you want to go and see what some of our artwork up there, it's on the table just going out there. And then I think we'll throw it open for a discussion on how we pull stuff together in Northern Ireland, because if we're applying for money or anything like that, we need a united front. And I think everybody here at the meeting wants a united front and a legacy to come out of this event. Okay, so I'm going to pass you over to the man who knows more about comics than I ever will, and that is Peter Duncan. Thank you very much, Paul.
And just to point out that there's the three people here who produce comics, and there's also the person who probably...
Sorry, my apologies, Paul, I didn't see you there.
Paul has probably done more to promote comics, the small press comics in Northern Ireland than anybody else. The Enniskillen Comics Festival is known throughout the UK as being among the friendliest festivals, but more importantly, it's a festival that is always about comics. It provides a place for people like me to go and put comics on tables and sell them, but it also gives us a chance to meet people who are effectively our heroes. So we'll ask Paul to talk about that when we want. Sector 13 Comics started because I had a heart attack and left work. It started because I went to the parlour bar once a month on a Saturday and met a bunch of 2000 AD fans, and one of them said, let's do a comic. And I got involved and have been involved ever since. We started off producing a 2000 AD fanzine. We remember very well the first time we got our first copy of this fanzine, Sector 13, and thought it was the most wonderful thing we'd ever seen. In retrospect, it was a bit crap. But even worse than that, the second day of Enniskillen Comics Fest, somebody pointed out that we managed to spell Titanic wrong on the cover.
Well done.
Collector's item. First print editions have an extra I in the spelling of Titanic. So it's the Titanic. Anybody who knows anything about comics in Northern Ireland will realise that gave us the perfect opportunity to ask Davy Francis to draw a strip about why it was Titanic, and explain that it hadn't been a mistake at all. Davy Francis is an absolute legend in comics in Northern Ireland, but apart from his work in Point, he's probably not very well known elsewhere, I would have to say. But Davy works with us to this day. We produced 7 issues of Sector 13, all 2000 AD type strips. The last issue came in 3 parts, which was a stupid thing to do. So we immediately followed it by doing the same thing with Waps, Blank and Yow, which are 3 humour comics we produced, which Nigel was very, very kindly contributed to. We're currently our next project is a thing called Anno Domini 1900, which imagines what a science fiction comic would have looked like had it been created in 1877. We chose 1877 basically because 2000 AD was created in 1977. And at that point, we became much more ambitious. We got we went further afield to find our artists. We have an Italian artist, we have a Colombian artist, the Filipino artist who appears occasionally with us, and things went well from there. We're now working on a war comic and a gothic comic, and later on in the year, hopefully a science fiction comic. The quality, I think, has increased, and the writing has increased in quality as well. The main thing we have is we love publishing people who are first-time comic writers. We always look for that. We look for people who perhaps write prose or perhaps don't write at all. Our favourite story, which is reproduced in Spanish from here, is called Ironic, and it was written by a man who claimed never to have written anything since he left school, and at this stage he was 45, and he sent us a marvellous little prose story. It wasn't there, it wasn't publishable, but we worked with him and we produced what we thought was a really moving piece of writing, and handing him, who was a big 2008 fan, a copy of the Sector 13 with that story appeared in, was the biggest thrill I think I've had in producing comics. And that tells you why we do it. We do it because we love doing it. Next plans are a war comic, a comic of Gothic fiction, and a science fiction comic, as I said. Anybody who's interested in contributing to any of those, please talk to me. And if you don't talk to me, I'll probably bother you about it anyway. As Andrew and Victoria know. Their story which will appear in the Gothic comic as does Joe. So, that's us.